If that motorway is going to go through in a year's time, so it'll miss all that walk with stuff.
Yeah.
So Leanne, I am in my pajamas. Yes, I knew you were going to ask. I am. It's almost okay because it's still got the crease, like it's yeah, so it's almost kind of okay. All right, okay, Kira's welcome to Careful, our 4th week, and this is the last of the master classes. So just a wee introduction. You all know me. I'm Nurse Jackie from Heart Place with Nurse Jackie, and I'm a whole health nurse coach. And what whole health means to me is essentially we have a foundation of our inner knowing. So our self-worth, self-belief, self-belief, and some other self. And then we build on top of that. And on top of that, we have our relationships. So I've talked about, did we do that here or did we do that in my social media? Talked about doing an inventory on the people in your lives. Don't think we got to it here. I had it on my list. So looking at the people in our lives, so I like to talk about our A-listers, so our angels, our B-listers, which are the kind of like our beaches, and they're sort of fun. You don't get sort of too deep and meaningful with them, but you can have fun with them. And then we have our C-listers. You can use whatever C word you want there. And then your D-listers, which are your dickheads. Unfortunately, we still have to kind of see some C's and D's, but it's about when you know that you're going to see them, kind of setting some intentions and actually putting some boundaries in place and how much you do share with them about your life, because they're not really vibing with you, so there's no point in getting too deep with them. So stick with your A's and B's to fill you up. Sometimes they're in your family, the C's and D's, so that can be interesting. So that's where going back to boundaries is really important. So week 1, we looked at our values and set those through doing an activity with looking at a favourite book or a favourite movie and finding a character and seeing what their values were, because that generally are the ones that you resonate with. And we did an inventory of everything in our lives that we're tolerating. And from that inventory, we looked at what we're going to make peace with and what we're actually going to do something about. So, some of those things you can go, actually, I'm actually never going to do anything about that, so I need to make peace with it and let it go. And then we looked at giving up advice that we used for numbing out. So, we see that a lot with our young people. They're never bored because they're always can scroll or that is always kind of on. So looking at ditching some of our numbing vices, and sometimes, we are the example to our young people, so it's important that we kind of adhere to that as well. And then week 2, we looked at non-negotiables. So like, for example, one of my non-negotiables is I don't turn right into Pointshead Road off Meola Road. So even if I like getting in that area, I'm like, no, remember it's a non-negotiable. And other things I have is that every time I give, I receive. And every time, and that every single day I move my body outside. So there's lots of little things that I do that are non-negotiables. We looked at boundaries. So my line that I always use is that the boundaries are for you, not against others. So that's a really good one if you can keep using that, particularly if you're a people pleaser, if you still haven't gone into the recovery mode of that. So each time you sort of think, oh, actually, this, I've got to say no to this because I need to conserve that, or and it's not against them, this is for me. And we looked at non-violent communication. So So non-violent communication is essentially, it's that. It's a way to communicate with someone without with minimizing the triggers. So what I've noticed, what makes me feel, so then you're not attacking them, and then what I actually need and what I'm asking. So it's really good if you can start practicing that at home, just as a kind of conversation. So maybe tattoo that into your eyelids. What I've noticed makes me feel, what I actually need, and what I'm asking. And then you just find when you kind of get those times where the boundaries crossed again, it is quite smooth to get it off there. Yeah. So that was week 2. And then week 3, we looked at manifesting. And I was just curious, did anyone put some manifesting down and out? Because I just, I should shush. Did anyone put it down? Because
I did a wishy-washy one, and the IRD gave me back $7,000 in overpaid tax.
That's a good one.
It's huge, and I wasn't even annoyed that they took it off me when they shouldn't have. I'm just absolutely stoked that I was unaware.
Yeah.
And then it came back to me when I needed it most.
Yeah. Well, a couple of months ago, my little whispers were like, book on a stylist. I was manifesting it. Like every day I was writing it down. I wanted to go out with a stylist, just looked so cool. And I left my job. So I was like, in my head's like, this is never going to happen. So I was like, keep writing it down. My whispers go, book on the stylist. And so I was like, that's ridiculous. And so anyway, I went online and I could book in and I didn't have to pay. So I was like, oh, well, I'll book in and don't have to pay. And then it was a week out and I thought, oh, this is ridiculous. And the same thing happened. We got a tax return of $11,500. And so we just both said to each other, because we weren't expecting it, let's just take a grand each and just blow it. So we did that each. Yeah. So it was really, really fun. So yeah, listen to the whispers and keep writing it down. But I was looking back because I did the workshop last week, and then I started looking back at my old journals, and I found like this one, and I'd said things like, so this is June 2:28 p.m. on 19th of June. God knows why I put the time. For more people in need, for more people in caring need work. For more people in need than people healing and for healing, for more people in, oh God, I can't read this. Oh, here it is. For more people in need than people in healing and caring work. Yeah, for more people in need than people in healing and caring work. Please, and then I put, please deliver the blessings to me within the next 48 hours and give me a clear sign. No pressure. And then I also put, this is like 2 years ago, so before I was even doing anything within the menstrual cycle, I put, and I don't even know if I even knew what this word meant, but I put activate divine feminine. This is like 2.5 years ago, I wrote that down. And then I wrote, and then I did a money mindset. And up until this year, my money mindset was really like Mother Teresa. It was kind of like access. Everyone should have access to wellness. It shouldn't be just for those with means. And my money mindset was very cool. Was that. So this one was like I did a dear money, and then I did a dear Jackie. So I did a dear money from Jackie, and then I did a dear Jackie from money, and this one it said that I would receive with gracefully, and that I'd be proud of myself for doing so. And I was like, oh my gosh, I so didn't have that money mindset. So that worked. And then what was another one that was kind of oh, that's right. And then this is a manifesto from 2 years ago. So does anyone know manifestos? You know, when you kind of, oh, that's cool, we need to do that one time. So you actually write and you say it each day. I'll just let someone in. You actually write it and say it each day. Hello, Arcadia, welcome. So I was just saying I found some of my old manifesting from 2 years ago, and some of them, a lot of them have come true. One of them was like activate the divine feminine. But I was just reading, this is a manifesto I wrote 2 years ago. So so you write how you want to be living. So you write how you want to be living at the time. So I wrote, I love how fun and easy my work is. I feel like I have such flow in my life and everything is taken care of effortlessly. I have the best of clients all round. All of my clients have found me and always willing and ready to pay me my worth for my services. I can work anywhere in the world. I get to travel, that's not so much, to many amazing places and meet other masters and gurus I have been learning from. I'm working with Lissa Rankin. I was like, oh my God. And we collaborate on amazing projects together. My life is fun and amazing. I get to truly do what I want every day while feeling peaceful and in flow. Thank you, universe. I was just like, that's what I'm doing. So that was 2 years ago. So and I mean, I've been doing this for a few years, so I still kind of go, oh my gosh, I did it. Yeah. So tonight, what I want to share with you, I was just talking you through whole health. So whole health, the basis is the inner knowing, so that's self-confidence, self-belief, self-worth. And then on top of that is relationships. So we talked about inventory of your relationships. Next to that is your work and purpose. And that's what I thought we'd sort of dive into a little bit tonight, is just sort of get some clarity around, you know, is that the right place? Am I in the right place? And you'll get a little bit of clarity just by doing this little version of it. On top of that is our spirituality. So you can go as deep as you like in that. However, I sort of refer to it as creating times for stillness and silence, and how we're talking about young people and guilty as charged as well. We kind of fill up our time with something all the time, whether we're scrolling or Netflixing or with people. So yeah, so create it, like one of my non-negotiables now is to create some space for stillness and silence. And a way you can do that is actually make an intention of 15 minutes a day, but you don't have to do it all at once. So you can do a couple of minutes here and a couple of minutes there and a couple of minutes there. Yeah. And then on top of your spirituality is our sexuality, which is why I'm so passionate about our sacred wisdom and our cycle wisdom, because there's so much in that than the absence and the presence of our period. So it's our divine feminine, it's our intuition, it's honoring our the different versions of us that show up in different times, but also kind of having that real sisterhood as well to kind of contain us and support us through those times. So that's our sexuality. And then creativity, so bringing back fun and play. So hence some of my pajamas. So and I really believe that our young people aren't seen as adults having enough fun and play. So creativity can be anything, you know, like I use my social media as creativity. You know, we will have not all the time, but we might have a family themed dinner, you know, Mexican dinner or something. So creativity can look in lots of different ways. And what I love when I particularly work with women around the creativity is not tick boxing it, you know, like I've done some paint by numbers, tick. Actually feel into it and kind of go, actually, you know, today I feel like hula hooping, or today I feel like putting some music on, or yeah, whatever. So feeling into it so that you haven't got into that well-being tick box. Yeah. And then on top of creativity is our environment. So yeah, one of my non-negotiables is kind of making sure that everywhere I am, my environment is that same vibe as I am, as Heart Places with Nurse Jackie is. So I make sure that, you know, things around me are clear, but also, like, it's not it's not clear, it's kind of colourful, and it's got my oils and it's got my crystals, and so it's got me, it's got my essence. So environment's really, really important. And I know the times that my mental fitness has been low, now I look back in hindsight, I'm like, oh, it was just, there was no window. I was working with no window, like no wonder. Yeah, so it wasn't me that was broken, it was actually just I wasn't fitting into the environment. So environment, and then kind of all that overarching stuff, if we've kind of got all that balanced on top of one another, literally, you know, rocks on top of one another, then we find that our mental fitness and our physical wealth actually thrive. Whereas what society is kind of telling us is, you know, eat well and move your body and everything will get sorted. Whereas I'm kind of like, no, flip it upside down and sort all those things out. And then you'll find that your mental and your physical health will actually thrive. So that's whole health. So that's what I mean by whole health. So if you follow me on social media and I keep going on about whole health, that's whole health. And then of course I also talk about Hope Island. So we've got Pain Island, and then we've got Hope Island. And yeah, I think, you know, when we live in the vibe of, you know, our lower vibe, so I don't believe that we have a good and bad or that we're right or wrong. I just believe we have a high vibe and we have a lower vibe. So when we're in our lower vibe, you know, we show up with not our best behavior, and then we can start, you know, then we start vibing with lower vibers, and so it just kind of exacerbates, you know, the whole health, environment, sexuality, everything. And we're just in Pain Island, and we're just kind of on a hamster wheel getting through. So I'm all about getting everybody on the boat to Hope Island, so we can turn it into Hope Continent, to turn it into Hope World. And over there you just find that people really do honour each other just as they are, then that there isn't judgment, and they see everybody as a whole person. So regardless of sex or gender, age, access, need, culture, that we're all just whole people having this experience. So yeah, that's my mission. And I'm pretty keen. Anyway, what we're going to do today is just do a little mini meditation, and hopefully you've just got some pen and paper in front of you. And this is what I do, and then I'll share with you what I kind of got out of this, because you'll be like, oh, okay, because I got there. So so I do this often, but I did the one that I'm going to read you back 3 years ago. So everyone can just sit quite comfortably, and if you want to just lower your eyes or close your eyes. So I'm just going to take you through a little meditation, and then I'll bring you out and just write down what you see. And so this is a future self meditation. And so if you just focus on your breath in and out, and focus all your attention on your breath. And as you witness your breath, feel your whole body melt into deep relaxation. Deep relaxation. And put all your attention onto my voice, and only my voice. And as you relax deeper, imagine you are standing at a bright light tunnel. And in the end of that tunnel is a door. And behind the door is your future self. Now I want you to walk slowly towards the door, step by step, and counting back from 10. And as you step closer to the door, you count 10, and then 9, and closer, and 8, 7, 6, closer still, 5, 4, 3, last few steps, 2, and 1, final step. And as you get there, push the door gently open, and when you go inside, you witness your future self. Take a few moments to see what she looks like. Your future self greets you with open arms, and she excitedly tells you she is pleased to see you, and she can't wait to show you around. Your future self takes you into a space, and in this space, you view the world as you see it in 10 years from now, beyond the confines of your own life. Spend some time in this space and look around, noting what you see, feel, hear, smell, and even taste of what the world is like in 10 years from now. Future self leads you to another door. Through that door is a tunnel. At the end of that tunnel, you see your present day. You walk to the tunnel, taking one step at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Closer to the present. 6, 7. Nearly there. 8, 9. Final steps. 10. And you're back in the present. Wiggle your fingers and return back to the space where you're sharing, and just quickly write down what you saw. You guys saw a lot. That's cool. So I'll keep going. Now I want you to walk slowly back towards that door, and step by step counting back from 10. And as you step closer to the door, 10, 9, closer, 8, 7, closer still, 5, 4, last few steps, 3, 2, 1. And as you push that same door gently open, when you go inside, you witness your future self again. Again, take a few moments to see what she looks like. Again, your future self greets you with open arms, and she excitedly tells you she is pleased to see you again and can't wait to show you around. This time, your future self takes you into a house. Your future self tells you this is your home. You feel very proud. The house is your dream home. All your beautiful things fill the rooms. All your loved ones are there to greet you. You walk through the house and take in all the sounds, smells, and sights. You take the time to feel what it's like to be in your house, your future home. Your future self takes you to a door, and behind the door is your freedom. Your future self asks you, where do you want to go today, and what do you want to do? You tell your future self the answer as you open the door to your future. Free to travel when you choose, free to do what you want, when you want. You spend a few moments in your dream location. What are you doing? Who is there with you? How do you feel? Absorb those feelings and pause for a moment. In this moment, you feel abundant You're living your best life and you have freedom. Future self tells you that you have faith, tells you to have faith that you are enough, that you are worthy, and that you matter, to enjoy the journey, and that you have so much to look forward to. Future self leads you to another door. Through that door is a tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, you see your present day. You begin to walk into the tunnel, taking one step at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, closer to the present. 5, 6, nearly there. 8, 9, final steps. 10, and you're back in the present moment again. So if you can write what you saw in your home, in your dream location, who was there, how you were feeling. So I just thought I'd share with you what I came up with the first one. So this was 3 years ago. This is my vision of the world. So I put integrated compassionate healthcare and education system. So I've been going for over 3 years on that. Vocational work, so part-time and passionate. Equanimity, so rather than balance, finding equanimity. Understanding holistic health, celebrating and supporting diversity, living my best life, community village living, and woman leadership. So that's what I wanted the world to look like. And then when I looked at what I wanted to look like, when I went back, it was fully self-employed, been invited to run workshops around New Zealand, one-on-one coaching. I put franchising. I'm contracting, looks like about 6 women at the moment, walking the dog on the beach, connecting and networking, traveling around New Zealand, yoga, healing, lean, want to be lean, abundant, investing in self and business, conscious awareness and village living. That was that's what I wanted then. And that's right. Then I did one around, at the time I did what I wanted to do in 3 months' time, and it was, so we didn't have a caravan then, but it was retro caravan. And then I did this is right as though you're already there in the future by doing this. So I put, be excited, it all happened. You get the retro caravan and have an awesome summer with your family. Be patient for a little longer. So yeah, it's worked really well for me. So yeah, so then the other thing from what you kind of got out, some questions that you can ask yourselves, or some actions that you can take forward, is what habits are you going to start shifting from what you kind of got out of that. So if there's anything around activity or your eating or anything like that, so what habits are you going to start shifting? That's a really good journal prompt. What thoughts are you going to start observing? And what language are you going to change? And then some actions that you're going to take. So what's an action that you could take this week? What's an action you can take next month? And what's the action you can take in 3 months for you to start heading towards that vision that you saw for, in the future in 10 years' time? Anyone want to share what they saw? Does anyone want to live on the beach next to me? Anyone want to live in that village? Any surprises? Like, anyone see anything they were like, oh,
I saw lots of puppies, but I don't think they represented puppies.
okay.
Well, puppies, warmth, comfort, play.
Yeah, puppies can be that you're in a knowing, like it's like hugging puppies, if that's as your.
Oh, there were like 50 puppies, and I was in the middle of all the puppies.
Oh, okay.
I think that might be to do with feeling more at ease around other people in general.
Okay. Yeah.
So see them more like they're puppies instead of T-Rexes.
Yeah. But do you think maybe you're probably putting yourself around the right people, around the A's and the B's?
I am now.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't at all.
Yeah. 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 Cool. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to share? That's cool. So then the other things that I kind of like look at there is this is where you can start getting your manifesting out, but also looking at your habits. So are the regular daily action we take to ensure that we mentally and physically optimize our state. So but first becoming aware of our default habits, and then actively choosing the habits that will best serve us moving forward. And we can become actively engaged in building the foundations from when we operate. Many of us fall into default loops when it comes to our daily habits, are unaware of how they're impacting our mental and physical care tanks, our energy tanks. So actively choosing our habits, we choose our state of mind. And so the best way to, it's much easier to create a habit than to break a habit. So for example, I used to always walk with my phone. And so now, because I wanted some less phone time, so now I always leave my phone at home when I go for a walk. So I know I've got some, and so that's my new habit to break a habit. Yeah. And then same with things like, if you're wanting to manifest or do affirmations, then do it like, say, when you're brushing your teeth. If you want to create some times of stillness and silence, I started by putting little stickers in places, like on my steering wheel and on my toothbrush, and it just reminded me, oh yeah, I've got to take some belly breaths here. And then just around thoughts and language, the first step to change is indeed awareness. This couldn't be more true than when it comes to looking at our thoughts and the language we speak. The first step is being aware. And when we're aware, we can actively choose to keep things the same or to change them. So that's around that whole kind of like, do I make peace with it and let it go? Or do I decide I'm no longer to tolerate that? And the key here again is choice. It's always choice. We've always got a choice. So are we going to choose the high vibe, or we're going to choose our low vibe? And the second step is to assess if the thought or what you are saying is actually serving you. So is this true? Can I do anything to control this, or is this out of my control? And how is the story you're thinking or verbalizing holding you from stepping into the life you want to create? And finally, the choice, realizing that at any point we can choose differently. Yeah, so that's our little sesh tonight. So now going forward, I've got a membership for Careful. So I'm going to do it's $66 a month, and I'm going to do 3 sessions for sure. I'm going to do 3 sessions a month, and then have like a week of integration. But also, like when things come up, I'll pop things in as well that I want to share. So we'll have our own Facebook page. And yeah, if you follow me on social media, I'm pretty generous with what I want to share. So if that's screaming out to you, then I'll send an email anyway to everybody, but there'll be a link and you can sign up and do Careful as a monthly membership. Yeah. So thanks so much for having me for 4 weeks. I've loved it.
It's been wonderful.
And yeah, me too. And I'm in it too. I'm doing it too. I feel like it fills my care tank up too. And it's been really cool because I've had all this, and it's so nice to be able to share it with other people, because it's worked for me. So yeah, my big byline is going from hot mess to hot healed success. Yeah, and it's a lovely containment so that we can show up and just be our whole selves. Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. We're all pulling each other up, aren't we?
We are, yeah. And the world fiercely needs us to have a full care tank.
Sure. Thank you for going first. Pulling us up. I'm happy to follow.
Yeah, there was a lot of rocking in that corner. A lot of rocking in that corner. I'm not lying. It's taken a village, but yeah, I wouldn't change any of it now. It's lots of growing and meeting, connecting with great people, and being of service, which is totally my calling. So yeah, very cool. Very cool. Anyway, go well, everybody. Farewell, carers, and hopefully I'll see you in the membership.
Thanks, Jack. Appreciate it.
Jackie.
Nice to see you.
You too. See everybody.
Nice.
Thank you, Jackie.
Welcome.
Bye.
Bye.